Hi friends, I hope you're all having a wonderful day. Well, it's currently February 18th here in southern Pennsylvania, and I'm ready to start my straw flower today. And so I thought before we really get knee deep into seed starting together, let me share with you the dates that I'm working from as I start seeds and kind of my mindset of why I start, what I start, when I start it. That's a mouthful. But basically, my last expected frost date here is April 25th. So I do everything according to my last expected frost date. I also plant out a lot of cool flowers here. Flowers that can take a little bit of frost and that really thrive in the cooler part of the year. My plant out date for me here with the last frost date of April 25th is approximately March 17th. I always use that because that's St. Patrick's Day and it's just really easy for me to remember. So in order to have seedlings ready for March 17th, I need to start them back in February. So on February 7th, I started things like snapdragons, statice, and sweet William. I started those so early because those flowers take a long time to reach maturity. Snapdragons take between 100 to 120 days. Statice, I think, is 110 to 120 days. So things that just take a really, really long time to reach maturity, I like to start about February 7th. But here we are, February 18th, and I'm starting Strawflower. Now, if I also wanted to grow things inside like Dara, Amimangus, or Leia, I would plant those today as well. But today, we're just gonna be starting Strawflower. They're gonna grow inside under lights, and then we'll start to harden them off right there in mid-March. And the other really great thing about doing it this way is that when we're ready to plant out all of these cool flowers in mid-March, that clears out our whole lighting system. So we have all these free lights again, all these free trays to plant into, and at that same time, I'll start all my tender annuals. So as soon as my cool flowers are planted out, about March 17th, I'll immediately turn around, even that day or the next day, and plant things like celosia, amaranth, ageratum, all of those tender annuals that can't be planted out until after the last frost. I generally start those in mid-March. So I hope that's helpful, and just know that those are the dates that I'm working with as I take you along on this journey with me. But now let's have some fun and start seeds together. So this year I'm going to be doing two different successions of straw flowers. I'm going to be doing my cool flower straw flowers, say that 3 times fast. And then I'm also going to be doing a later planting of straw flower that I won't start until about mid to late March. But today we're going to be starting the apricot peach mix from Johnny's. And the way that I like to organize my seed packets is I separate them based on the following things. So my first packet is always cool flowers that need to be started inside, and the ones that take the longest to grow on inside come first in the packet, and then I work my way through that packet gradually. Then I have cool flowers that want to be directly sown into the garden, once again in that same kind of descending order. So I'll be planting my poppies next week. Then I'll work through to Dara, Bupleurum, Saponaria, and so forth. And then the same thing, kind of those warm season annuals that want to be direct sown or in a packet, and then warm season annuals that need to be started inside. And there's a packet of straw flower in here as well. So that's what I find works best for me. Pretty simple and straightforward. And yeah, now let's just go ahead and plant a batch of straw flower together. So for these seeds, I'm using a 48 cell tray. I've already filled my tray with pre-moistened potting soil. So the soil is nice and moist, and since straw flower like to be surface sown, I'm just going to place them right on the soil surface and give them a gentle press in. And then after that, I'll just kind of give it a nice spray of water to get it moist, and we'll put a cover on it and get it on a heat mat. I got them all seeded, so I'm just going to give them a nice spritz of water. The reason why I like to spritz them with water instead of watering them with a watering can is so I don't move the seeds around too much. And I expect to see these start to germinate in about 7 to 10 days. And I do like to use a plastic cover on my seed trays. Sorry, I hope that wasn't too loud. So I'll just stick this cover right on here, and that just helps bring the humidity up, and now we'll get them on a heat mat. All right, so let's get these on the heat mat. And I like to leave the humidity dome and the tray on the heat mat until I see about 50 to 75% germination in the tray. Once that happens, I will remove the humidity dome for good. I'll also take it off the heat mat for good and just have it underneath my lights, and I'll grow it here under my lights until about March 17th. That's kind of my goal for starting to either harden off cool flowers or plant them out. And these are 4 feet long fluorescent shop lights, 1 cool and 1 warm ball, on chains with S hooks. And because these are fluorescent lights, they need to be about 2 inches from the top of your plant at all times. So hence the hanging nature of a shop light and the S hook. You can just gradually move them up as you need. One other thing I like to do is use these yellow sticky traps. Fungus gnats just always become an issue when you have this much moist soil in a confined area. So these sticky traps help me to see how many fungus gnats are in here and whether they're at a tolerable level or an intolerable level. So that's pretty much my seed starting system in a nutshell. I run the lights from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. But I do have a full video on seed starting and the lights that I use, and I take you to buy a light with me at Lowe's. Super simple, super affordable, and yeah, definitely give it a try. Lights make a ginormous difference in the quality of seedlings. If you've never tried it before, don't be intimidated. You can hang light from just about anything. Just if you're using fluorescent lights, make sure you keep it close to the seedling. Fluorescent lights, 2 inches away from the top of the seedling at all time. Well, friends, doesn't it just feel wonderful to have some seeds going again? Now, I also do have my ranunculus and anemones going in the basement. I started those 7 days ago. I do see them just now starting to sprout. So I'll either be planting them out very soon, or I'll just be putting them under lights for a week or two until I'm ready to plant them out in the garden. But I'll be sure and take you along for that as well. So for now, I want to wish you a wonderful day and happy gardening. Bye.